Hey everybody, Mockery TV here, and I just found out about a kinda crazy Hanzo bug. What it allows you to do is essentially chain cast Hanzo's Q at completely max range, without needing to wind up your Q to get it all the way back to max range. You can instead just insta-cast it at max range after some setup conditions have been achieved. I'm not actually sure how useful it is, because there are some things that can mess it up, and there's some setup that needs to be involved. I'm sure that somebody else could figure out some way to use it, and either way, it ends up serving as a bug report, even if it's not particularly useful. So I just found out about this from Derenash in the Windstriders Discord, and they were asking if I had made a video about it. I said no. They told me exactly how it works, so thank you, Derenash. I'm going to show it right here. Basically, the essence of this is abusing some wonky behavior with how shift commands work. So if anybody doesn't know, in HOTS, you can shift queue your commands and do them ahead of time. So I'm hands off the keyboard here. I've queued up several move commands ahead of time now, and my character is following these. And you can do these with ability casts, like I can walk up, tell Hanzo walk up there, and then after walking up there, cast a W. Again, hands off the keyboard when he did that. And for some reason, that really changes how Hanzo's Stormbow works. So Stormbow right here, you can see, I'm going to start casting it. My range is going to get longer and longer and longer as I hold it until it maxes out. And I can choose to fire the Q at any point, even right after I start it. It's like I could fire it at minimum range right there. We can see it didn't go very far. Whereas if I charge it up all the way, if I step up just a little bit, I can hit that tower, right? But we can see that with just a baseline Q, it doesn't have the range to hit that tower. So what Derenash actually showed me is that if you hold the shift command whenever you fire a Q, this range indicator stays. And so then if I keep holding shift, this whole time I've got shift just still held down. So this can make this kind of hard to pilot, but I'm sure it's workable. But this whole time I've still got shift held down. And if I do another Q, it's automatically max range. It's automatically the same range as the Q it was before. Without any charging up, it doesn't need to extend at all. But again, I'm doing a full cast Q. I'm holding shift once I press the Q. And now I've still got my Q. And if I W, it looks like casting another ability might be what breaks the chain here. So whoops, I meant to cast a Q first before I did that. So let's see right here, I'm going to cast that Q, I'm going to hold my range, I'm going to E. Yeah, so it's casting another ability breaks this, so you need to only consecutively cast Qs in order for this to work. But either way, I do my max range Q here. I shoot it, still holding shift, not casting any other abilities, and there's another max range Q. No charge required, no wind up, and whoops. I broke it a little bit right there, so it looks like taking damage might also mess with it. I'm actually a little bit curious here. So there's my max range charge. If I walk up and I take a little tower damage, oh, it's auto-attacking is actually what's going to go ahead and mess with us. Yeah, and so if you get near a minion wave or anything that you might walk up and attack accidentally and get stuck in an attack animation, that can actually mess this up as well. So you can see, like I said, I'm not really sure about the effective utility of this trick, if being near something that you're going to auto-attack is going to mess it up, and if it prevents you from casting any other abilities. But I do think that being able to chain Qs from max range instantly actually is probably going to have uses in some scenarios. Like, this would be really effective for sieging away at buildings, for example. Like if you're pushing onto enemy buildings, you could walk up, you could siege onto that, and you know that your W is not going to damage the buildings. Your E might, but I mean, you're probably using E for vision anyway on the flanks as you're pushing in, and you can just consecutively instant cast these Qs. This is effectively a cooldown reduction on your siege damage right here. So I can run away here, and I can just wait and wait and wait, back up, step back forward, and oop, I messed it up right there again. So, like I said, there's still little kinks to it that I haven't quite fully worked out, and then once you mess it up, you have to redo the trick over again. And so I haven't fully figured out exactly all the intricacies of what you need to do to make this trick work, but that is the baseline idea. There is definitely some potential utility this for sieging away at a building, or maybe even in teamfights if you're really just in a full-out poke war, just getting chain instant cast max range Qs. And if anybody else can figure out how to use this better or figure out exactly how this works, what you need to do or what you don't need to do, but for right now, hey, as long as you're doing something like this, you know, you don't really have anything messing up what you're doing, you can just sit here and Q at max range, no wind up all day long. And the difference that this makes in building damage is quite big. So if y'all figure out something that I'm missing here, if y'all figure out a cool way to use this, let me know, because honestly, this is a really interesting trick that I think I didn't even know about it, and I've played so much Hanzo since release, I literally didn't even know about this until just recently. So if you figure out some way to use this, please let me know in the comments. This is a really interesting bug. Probably going to get fixed soon, but you know what? We'll see what happens. Let me know how it goes.